All right, welcome into the studio. Victor Garcia da Rosa, running for, that's 21, right? District 21.
District 21, correct,
Get
Dick.
his, Joe, get his mic up. I can't hear him that well. There, try it now.
Now can you hear me,
There
Dick?
we go. Now you
Okay, thanks, Joe.
All right, we're talking about you're running in this race. There are, I think, 7 other candidates.
Let's see, there's Elizabeth Felton, there's Laura Loomer, there's Michael Velarde, there's Dr. Blass, there's myself, there's Christian Acosta.
I count. That sounds like 6 or 7.
6 total, yes.
All right.
How was the first, though?
I know
to actually
that.
jump in.
You were the first. It's most important to be the first because you got to jump on everybody else. Now, this is a district that's been owned pretty much by Lois Frankenstein, and she's done some tawdry things. She has support anti-Semites in Congress. She supports Jew haters in Congress in a district that's like 40% Jewish. Could you explain that?
Actually, there's really no explanation, Dick, if you really think about it. I mean, Lois Frankel being Jewish herself, the constituency within her district being Jewish,
the largest single minority constituency.
Exactly, and it's well beyond reason. I couldn't even fathom the reasons why. All I know is she's a person that really only cares about herself. That's really what it boils down to.
That's what it seems
She cares
like
about herself.
And she knows nothing about the Constitution.
Absolutely nothing.
I was at a town hall and I asked her, specifically about a constitutional issue, and she just flatly ignored me and went on to another question because she's a polished politician, but a poor public servant. But let me ask you, how do you rise above the din of these 6 other or 7 other candidates?
Well, it's funny you mentioned just before you just asked me that question, you're talking about the Constitution. The theme of my campaign is bring the government back to we the people. I'm a firm believer that, we go all the way back to the 17th of September, 1787, when 9 states ratified our Constitution as it sits right now. In the preamble, it says, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and to our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States.
Spoken right out of Star Trek 1968.
And the reality is, Dick, is that's what I'm looking to do. You look at Lois Frankel, look at all those that are serving in Congress right now, they have taken us on a path well away from our Constitution. There are 5 pillars within that preamble, and going into Congress, and any legislation that I will do will be based on those 5 pillars.
All right, now, back at the campaign. Laura Loomer, 26 years old?
26 years old.
26 years old, wants to go to Congress. With what experience is she coming here?
Okay, well, we mentioned the Constitution, Dick. Actually, the Constitution is on her side. The reality is, if you go to Article 1, Section 2, it talks just about that.
All right, but let me take according to what I've seen, I saw an anonymous Facebook post. I call it anonymous because the guy didn't have a real name. He was, like Nutmeg Wildhog was his name on Facebook. So obviously that's not his name. But
Probably not.
He was talking about how he likes you, he likes Christian Acosta, but he sees Laura Loomer as the real marquee candidate because she's attracting a lot more money and she's having a lot of people turn out at her events. Is this real?
Yeah, it's real. She is bringing in a lot of money. I'm actually really glad she's actually in this race.
Are you?
Because what she does is she's bringing into this district something that I may not be able to bring into this district, okay? Because I don't have name recognition yet, but I'm getting there, okay? Since the 5th of February, since I've entered the race, my exposure here in this county and within this district has risen greatly. As a matter of fact, 3 days after she jumped into the race, there was a reporter down in the Broward area that actually asked a question in one of his articles, who would you vote for, Laura Loomer or Victor Garcia da Rosa?
Okay.
And a majority of the people that answered that, Victor Garcia da Rosa.
Beautiful.
She does have name recognition, but she is unelectable. Dick.
That's because, unelectable because, number one, she's been kicked off of social media left and right. I don't necessarily agree with the reasons for it, and I don't think anybody should be stifled.
They shouldn't.
I believe it wide open. I'm a libertarian when it comes to freedom of speech. But I must also say, she has this very twisted, weird campaign manager who has a knack, a reputation for carrying out, you could say, mass hysteria to draw attention to her candidate. This is a dangerous person, I think, working with Laura Luma. I mean, I would ordinarily be welcome her to the campaign. You say you welcome her to the campaign. I don't. I would ordinarily welcome her to the campaign, but she has a nefarious helper behind her who has ulterior machinations. I suspect that they're up to no good. Whereas, in you, and maybe a couple of the other candidates I know, have some genuine interest. But of course, I like yours the most. I'm not ashamed to tell anybody that either. But are you going to be able to, or will you take a shot at who you perceive to be the leading candidate in this race?
Yeah, I don't have a problem taking a shot at her. The reality is this. As I mentioned before, she is unelectable. Okay. I believe that her motives for doing this isn't to actually become elected
No.
into Congress. Okay.
It's to expand her brand.
It's to exactly to expand her brand.
Right. I smell that. And because of that, that tells me she's not a candidate for this district, because we don't want somebody climbing on the backs of voters here to expand their brand.
No, the whole idea of running in this district should be to go in and serve the public and actually make it to Washington, D.C. Okay. Reality is this. She cannot beat Lois Frankel. I can. I have been trolling Lois Frankel's social media since the 5th of February when I entered this race.
We mentioned that the electorate is 40% Jewish, maybe more. So is Laura Luma. Is that a problem for you?
No, it's not going to be a problem for me. I actually have some rabbis, Orthodox rabbis here in Palm Beach that are behind me.
That's good. You're going to need that. That's helpful. I mean, I've looked over your campaign literature, and we've talked before a number of occasions. And,
yes.
And I see you as, looking to do the right thing. And most often, when you talk to candidates during the primary, they all appear to want to do the right thing. But Laura Luma doesn't look that way to me. I get the impression that Congress is a stepping stone for her to improve her stature in the country nationwide.
Yeah, it goes back to her building her brand.
At 26.
The reality is, 26. I mean, look, I had a lot of respect for Laura back in the day when she was with Project Veritas, some of the pieces that she did as far as investigative reporting.
And they still do great stuff there.
Well, Project Veritas, they do. But really what she's come to do, she's kind of like a Republican version of Jim Acosta. Instead of reporting the news, she's actually becoming the news, Dick, and that's where the problem is.
I think of her more as a Republican version of Alexandria Cortez.
Well, that too.
Yeah. Speaking of which, supposing AOC, as they call her, survives the 2020 race, because I understand she's under a serious challenge and has only a 13% approval rating in her district. How would you get along with a member of Congress like that?
Well, I've always gotten along with everybody. One thing that I've done in business, throughout my business career, is I've done an incredible job to be able to reach out to others. And kind of like our president, he's a businessman. It's all about negotiations. Okay. For me, reaching across the aisle, I have core values, Dick, that I will never, ever, ever waver from.
Let me ask you, how do we defend the president on, I know how, but I don't know how you would do it. How do we defend the president on the move to withdraw that paltry number of soldiers from Syria? I think it was 150 or 200 soldiers. We withdrew them from Syria, and all of a sudden Turkey attacked. You think that was the right move, and what is right about it if it is?
Well, absolutely it is right. The reality is this, Dick. We as the United States of America, we do have a responsibility, but we cannot be the world's police, and we really can't be involved in everybody's civil actions or civil wars.
If we were, we would need 300 million soldiers, and they'd be placed in 127 different conflicts, and the taxpayer would have to spend 80% of their tax bill would be to support our military. Kind of like in Nazi Germany, it's the way it went.
Exactly. So the reality is I support our president in pulling us out of Syria. The reality is...
It's got to stop somewhere.
It's got to stop somewhere, okay? And actually, you know what? He made a promise, and he kept it, just like his other promises.
And right, just write that down.
That's what it boils down to, a promise that was kept. Exactly.
Let me ask you, what about Alex Acosta and the Justice Department?
Oh, okay. You're going to go back to the situation here in Palm Beach County and Epstein and all of that. The reality is, I look at it this way, okay? He did what he needed to do, okay? The reality is back at that time...
He's on the phone. He wants to talk to us.
Okay, but back at that time, guess who was the mayor of West Palm Beach?
Oh.
And they did absolutely nothing.
There you go. Let's. We got him on the phone. We'll talk to him.
Lois Frankel.
Oh no. And don't confuse Alex Acosta with Christian Acosta.
No, 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 no.
Oh, Alex is calling us. Oh boy. Let's take Alex's call. You're on the Justice Hour with me and the candidate for District 21, Victor Garcia da Rosa. Hello.
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 I have to say, very disappointed in your defense of the president, Miss Frankel. Great woman. The president's broken every law, every law. Sit here and defend him.
Tell me the law that the president broke.
You defend him.
What law did he break? Tell me the specific statute that was violated, sir.
The one for the impeachment. And you.
Well, that didn't answer me. Tell me the stat. If you say he broke the law, I want to know what law he broke. Tell me what it's called. Read it to me.
Mick, are you a lawyer?
I don't have to be a lawyer, but I know my Constitution.
Then Mick, you tell me the one he didn't break, Mick.
I can't prove a negative. What he didn't break. Hey, did you have breakfast today? How do I know if you had it today? Get off the phone, dope. Sorry to interrupt our conversation.
No, it's okay, Dick.
That's
where were we?
That's what we're up against. That's what we got here. Oh, the president broke the law. They have no idea. What is the law that he broke? They can't tell you.
Well, what the left has done over the last 2.5 years, Dick, is they've done a phenomenal job in conjunction, media with those of the United States House of Representatives, of investigating instead of legislating. Okay, they have an agenda that they want to put forth. And the unfortunate thing is we have a duly elected president, okay, that won fair and square.
They can't live with that.
They just can't live with it.
They just can't.
They can't live with it. So the reality is,
you know what? 13 months from today, or less than that, we're going to have another election. You don't like the president? Don't vote for him. That's all there is to it.
But if you do like the president, vote for him.
Now, out of the mouth of babes, this moron in Congress, and I hope you get a chance to serve with him, is this Al Green, and I don't mean the singer. Al Green said, we have to impeach him because otherwise he'll get reelected. Hey, if the people are going to reelect him, what does that tell you?
Tells me that he's popular, okay, and he's doing the right thing. The beauty about our president, he doesn't have to serve. He didn't have to choose to serve.
He's not.
He chose to serve. Why?
Slug.
Because he loves our country.
He's giving back after all he's got. He wants to give back. And you know what? He works 20 hours a day, man. Show me Jimmy Carter doing that, right? We got about a minute, right? Quickly, how do folks get a hold of you and join the campaign, get more information, all that stuff?
It's very easy. They can go ahead and they can Google me, Victor Garcia da Rosa for Congress.
Don't use Google. Use Ask button.
Okay, whatever. Sorry about that, Dick. Or they can actually just go right to my website, victorgarciadarosaforcongress.com.
And you're on Facebook.
And I'm on Facebook. Can't miss me.
Next event you got coming up?
Next event I have coming up, we have let's see here, on the 18th, we have a fundraiser at Valentina's on Lake Worth Road in Lake Worth.
I'll be there.
You're going to be there, yeah, absolutely, Dick.
Sure.
Yeah,
great. You came to my show. I might as well come to yours, right?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Dick. I really appreciate it.
Glad you stopped in, really. Thanks.
Thank you.
Were the directions good?
Directions were great.
Okay.
God bless.
Thanks. Remember, Lisa Macy's available 24